Game one of the Battle of Ontario is in the books, and I must say, as an outsider to Ontario, it did not disappoint. This heavyweight title fight lived up to its billing. It was physical at first. Ottawa controlled the play in what felt like the first 10 minutes, but the Leafs goaltender, Anthony Stolarz, held the fort down for the Toronto Maple Leafs, made some routine and unbelievable saves, and that allowed the Leafs forwards and skills to get their feet grounded and go to work. It's the Leafs talent up front specifically that carries this team. Their defensemen are good as well too. Their team defense as a unit is excellent. But when you have a goalie that's going to make stops like that, it lets your players settle into the game, use their skill, use their shooting, use their passing, and eventually break down a lesser team. And that lesser team was the Ottawa Senators tonight. If there's one thing the Toronto Maple Leafs need to clean up from this game, though, it's second and third rebounds. They are excellent when they are limiting Stolarz to one shot, keeping him to the outside, and we're going to talk all about that today. The Ottawa Senators, though, they have a lot more to clean up going into game two. Yes, you laid a lot of hits and you were very physical. The problem with laying a lot of hits, though, is it means you don't have the puck. In order to make a body check, it means your team's on defense. You want to be on defense less than you want to be on offense. And it was evident from Ottawa that the emotions were running high and they wanted to send a message. The trouble is in a 7-game series, when you go to send those messages and you take penalties like Ottawa did, far too many penalties, especially cross-checking penalties. I hate when guys take those. It's going to put you in the box, and a team like the Leafs is going to capitalize and make you pay. And it's really a short series. I know we always say it's long, but it is short when you give up games and penalties like that. 6 was far too many to give up from Ottawa to the juggernaut Toronto Maple Leafs power play with their 5 forwards, in my opinion. And Leafs fans, here is your Toronto Maple Leafs parental advisory for this breakdown. We are not in the Leafs market. This is not the Toronto Sports Network. If you're looking for the feel-good, pump-you-up story tires, there are hundreds of content creators doing it. But if you're looking for fair analytics of how your team did, this is the channel for you. Sens fans, no parental advisory required. Small town city, haven't been to the playoffs in a few years. You guys understand it. You're ready to go. You're craving anybody to talk about your team. I'm happy to do it. I think you're going to rebound in game 2. You'll keep it a little bit closer as this series goes on. But why don't we go ahead and start with the real storyline from this game, Anthony Stolarz. All right, step 1, routine save. You got 3 Maple Leafs back here, 2 Maple Leafs back checking. This is Craig Berube written all over it. That goes ahead and creates 2-on-1s in favor of Toronto. And it's just a quick little shot like that Stolarz is so good at taking in. And you'll see there's no rebound. The play is stopped. We move on. I said this about him in my preview video. Toronto is going to keep the shots to the outside as team defense. That allows Stolarz to do exactly what he does best. Gobble up rebounds, not give second chances, stop the play, let your centerman go out there and win a draw so you can exit the zone and go back on offense. Same play here as well. 4 Toronto Maple Leafs against 2 Ottawa Senators. They get free, quick little puck bounce. It's the outside and the other side. Bang, quick little stop. It's a rebound, but it's redirected to the proper side. Johnny T is on the puck. That ends that play. Minute 32 here as well. The puck is going to go from low to high, and this is incredibly difficult on a goaltender. You also have the captain in front of the net here with a big, giant screen. We all know what a pest he can be. That shot comes in. If Tkachuk is able to get his stick on that shot or a rebound pops out, it's probably in the back of your net. All 5 Leafs are caught in no man's land. Brady Tkachuk takes a quick little whack, but it's Stolarz who brings it into his body with no rebound. We're going to amp up the difficulty here. Quick little slap shot in, blocked by the Maple Leafs, again in great defensive side positioning. But then that puck is going to come across that Royal Road over here. And it's this vicious one-timer that Stolarz is able to get over to, position to, suck into his body with no rebounds again. And finally here, one more time, the hardest save of the day. Quick little snapshot. That rebound comes out. And as the rebound comes out, they go low to high again. What an incredible stop. So you have one puck coming in, low to high, back into Stolarz, and he doesn't miss making that save. And that is absolutely huge for a skilled team like the Leafs. When you're getting outshot like they were early on against the Ottawa Senators, you need a goalie that's going to be calm, collected, and cool and able to do that. I still think it is a great product of team defense that helps make Stolarz so successful, but he also is a critical part to the team defense of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, earlier in the video, I talked about Auston Matthews and the skill. Here he is in the box. He's going to lengthen and widen the zone himself, and he's going to catch all 5 of the Ottawa Senators on the wrong side of the ice. There's nothing wrong with the defensive zone positioning that you see the Senators here right now with, except for the fact that they've blown their gap. They have 1, 2, there's no supporting man coming in. You have Auston outnumbered. You need to start pressuring that puck. In my opinion, they're giving him way too much credit there. He steps in, quick little snapshot, Ullmark with a great save. And Ottawa's going to have to clean that up really fast. You cannot let a man that skilled change angles the way Matthews is known to change angles and expect to win a series. This is exactly what him and the Toronto Maple Leafs want to do. Really great job by Auston Matthews. World-class player getting shots like that. Sure, it was a save, but you get enough of those chances in a series and you're going to bury a bunch. At about the 13-minute mark, the dam breaks. Really great puck play here by Stolarz. I can't say enough good thing about Anthony Stolarz here. We're going to end up taking this puck wide, and this is going to lead to the very first goal, and I love fourth-line goals like this, Scott Laughton. It's a quick little breakout where Ottawa on the forecheck goes ahead and makes a few really nice plays on that puck that was played by Stolarz, but take a look here. Separating man from puck on the right side of the puck, between his goalie, between his man, separating that puck off the boards. This is what you want to do with body checks. Separate man from puck so you can make a play on it, not just blow a guy up. That ends up moving the puck north to south, which is going to really end up starting this play for the Maple Leafs. It's a quick little high skill play and a kick off the feet, and then the Leafs are off to the races. I love what happens here. It's a quick little bump out, and what do you got to do after you bump the puck out? You have to drive the mid lane, and you have to push both of these defensemen back, and that's exactly what happens. The last thing you have to do is have a defenseman join the play as forward number 4, and he does. Look at Oliver Ekman-Larsson here buying ice. He cuts hard across down over here, and this is going to create separation from these 3 Ottawa Senators defenders, and that's going to allow them to walk into the slot. There's our beautiful separation. Great pass by Laughton, and bang, in the back of the net. That started 200 feet away from the goal. It started with your goalie. It started with your defenseman. It starts with being on the right side of the puck. It starts with being able to use skill like your skates to kick pucks up the wall. It starts by being able to drive back defensemen and create gaps. This is all happening with the fourth line and your defenseman. This is what I mean by the skill of the Toronto Maple Leafs. People can laugh about the first round exits all they want. I have been saying on this channel for 4 years that this is a highly skilled team. Unfortunately, they just haven't seen playoff success. Well, we're seeing it in game 1 tonight. Another goal happens 200 feet away from the net. It's Pappy, it's Auston Matthews, and his buddy Mitch Marner, who's been on fire since the Four Nations Cup. Watch these two guys stay on the right side of the puck. They do so good, and Auston Matthews is so underrated as defensive forward. I think it just takes years to get that reputation. Look at the line he ends up taking. Mitch Marner is going to take a good line to the point, but really this play comes in because Auston Matthews makes the right defensive play on the puck. He comes in, quick little stick lift. Nope, doesn't get up there in time. Mitch Marner misses it, and as that puck comes back, because Matthews is on the right side of the puck here, he's able to actually pick it up and move that puck up the wall to Mitch Marner, who's already left the zone. It's one quick little play. Marner is gone. It's all daylight. And when we get to this spot here, remember it. We're going to take a look at the Brady Tkachuk breakaway and what the difference is here. There's a lot of gap between Mitch Marner and Linus Ullmark here, but I don't think enough players do this today. He uses his speed. He doesn't slow down. He doesn't Patrick Kane it. Watch this. Speed, 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 speed. Bang. This pushes the goalie back in the net. That's how you separate goalie gap. Goalies like to come out to the top. Mitch Marner pushes them deep enough into the back of his net and ends up hooping it right over his glove into the top corner. Speed kills. Mitch Marner has it in droves. He has hands in droves. Auston Matthews and him, great defensive play. The Greig Berube Toronto Maple Leafs have taken a page out of the Carolina Hurricanes playbook, and Rod Brind'Amour. Great defense leads to great offense. They've always had great offense. Auston Matthews has always been an underrated defensive forward, but this is absolutely fantastic team defense 2 times in a row by the Toronto Maple Leafs that put them up 2-0. Now, unfortunately here, that team defense breaks down. We always have a 2-on-1. So you have 2 supporting players on the puck. And when you see backs and you see bobbles, that's when you want to pressure. When you see chest or you see eyes, that's when you want to contain, and they make a mistake here. Look, you can see chest, you can see eyes. His head is up. He is looking to make a play. This is where you don't want to overpress. You want to contain. They make that mistake. Bang, let's press. That stick gets in there. It's no good. And now you've turned a 2-on-1 into a 1-on-1, and you don't want to have 1-on-1s in hockey. And here it is. 1-on-1s are 50-50 plays, quick little shot. And normally Stolarz is pretty good with these rebounds. We've just shown a whole bunch of clips of how great he is with them. This is a mistake, in my opinion. It's just a puck fumble by a goalie. He can't find it here today. But once again, that team defense breaks down to a 1-on-1 right here. And those are always going to be 50-50 pucks. The 50-50 puck doesn't work out. Ottawa ends up bullying it, and it goes in the back of the net. That's a simple lapse in defensive zone judgment and a really great exploitation by the Ottawa Senators. And that's what the Senators need to do more of. They need to be patient. They need to wait. They need to let the Toronto Maple Leafs make mistakes, because Ottawa has the ability to control this series and control this game. They just let their emotions get the best of them tonight. And when you do that, the skilled players of the Leafs are going to absolutely bury you 6 feet under the ground. Brady Tkachuk here down low, a beautiful 1-on-1. This is what he's known for, the captain with an absolutely great takeaway, and he is off to the races. The difference here, look, take a look. He's stopped. Now it's all about pushing the goalie backwards. Once again, you have to push him backwards into his crease in order to make space. Tkachuk doesn't do that, though. He takes the shot at a much higher position than Mitch Marner did. So Tkachuk's taking the shot from here. Marner was taking the shot here. He doesn't wait. He doesn't have the patience to push Stolarz back far enough into his net. Doesn't work. Ends up being a really nice big save. But that is going to be the difference between a power forward and a skilled forward. Marner's just got a different set of hands and a different toolkit than Brady Tkachuk does. Takes the shot. Shot's always good. He almost scored on it. I always recommend a player is going to take a shot as opposed to a deke at that point. It's just really interesting to see two elite players, and they both are quite elite, and what they can do when given the opportunity on a breakaway. One does it right. The other one didn't do it wrong, but missed a little bit of that flair and got goalied by Stolarz. The magic that is the Leafs power play here, 5 forwards on it. You got to stay out of the box. This is what you can't do if you're Ottawa, because you just take a look at this. What do you want me to break down? This is just absolutely sick, players being sick. Ullmark had no chance on this goal. And then it happens again. I love plays like this. I do not love that they gave up the wall, however. I know it is a 5-on-3. I know you're trying to win it back, but this defender here for Ottawa, I'd much rather have him up here lined up on the wall, because when you give away the wall, you're giving away a free puck slap. And it's so simple for Tavares to win that puck on a tie-up right here to Willie Nylander, and Nylander picks it up free and clear, and then you end up getting picked down here. Look, because he's set up so down low, he ends up picked. I get it's a 5-on-3, but you could have done a little bit better here. That leaves Fast Willie right alone in the slot. Bang, shooter's going to shoot. And to me, that's all she wrote. And these are little things that the Ottawa Senators need to do in order to remain in this game. I don't like the decision-making from the Senators. I love the absolute dominant exploitation by the Maple Leafs. Every time the Senators made a mistake, whether it was a penalty, whether it was the way they lined up on a face-off, the Leafs capitalized. They stayed calm. They stayed poised. They looked like a team that was mature and ready to play playoff hockey. Stay out of the crap. Stay out of the BS. Put them away where it hurts. The end of the game saw one heck of a brouhaha. Both teams pushing back. This is the Battle Ontario. There are going to be massive hits. There are going to be fights. There are going to be cheap shots. There's going to be dirty plays. There's going to be missed calls. There's going to be fans crying that both teams got screwed by the refs. There is going to be a whole bunch of drama that is played out from this one. It is long from over. It is game 1. The Maple Leafs channeled some loud energy in that building, from a building that the players have rightfully called out as a little bit quiet. So good on Toronto for stepping up there. And trust me, we know even outside the market, it's not the Toronto fans. We understand how corporate season ticket sales and all that stuff works. The real Maple Leaf fans were in that building for this game. They were loud. They were proud. They were on fire. I'm really hoping this one ends up going 6 or 7. I just think it's a fantastic series overall. But if Ottawa can't find a way to get their emotions under control and limit the damage from those Leafs players, the Buds are going to end this one really quick. All right, thanks for checking out this video. And if you like this channel as your first time watching, check out the video on screen here. We do break down all of the playoff games in the NHL. You'll learn a thing or two. You'll have a little bit of fun along the way. We'll catch you in game 2.